Is that funny?
Storytime has always been an important part of any young child's development. But in a few moments, this introduction to kittens will go from quietly listening to all-out hands-on discovery.
Science learning really starts as soon as a child can communicate with the outside world.
Who needs to smell some catnip?
This is Discovery Time, a preschool program combining literacy, the 5 senses, and just plain fun.
Comes up and rubs its head against you. It's giving you a little bit of a smell. Now let's look and see. Can we see cats?
It's a way for preschoolers and their caregivers can come visit the museum and then have a real specific focused program.
Discovery Time takes place right here at Bloomington's Wonderlab Museum, a fascinating destination no matter what your age. But behind the flashy exhibits and demonstrations, real learning takes place.
Today, we're going to see some pretty cool stuff. We're going to learn about human anatomy. So let's see how small this small intestine really is.
When it's hands-on, it's a lot easier to relate to what you saw, remember what you did, and understand it better. So we just try to have that common experience of what they saw at Wonderlab is kind of always the backdrop for what we're going to teach in the classroom.
Teachers bring their students to Wonderlab for field trips, but the organization strives to bridge the time spent in the museum to curriculum. And one way they do this is to teach the teachers themselves.
The science standards in a snap was fabulous. It was a week well spent here. We had Jill Robinson come over from IU from the chemistry department, and she did liquid nitrogen experiments, and they were fabulous. We all got to participate, and then I later had James Clark from IU come to my class and present. And I just try a lot more things that I didn't believe I could do before. I feel empowered by having gotten this knowledge.
The community can kind of meet up with the researchers from the university. It's kind of a place where town and gown get together.
And Indiana University provides another resource, volunteers.
But did you know that all snakes are carnivores? What does that mean?
About 36 IU students work at the museum as assistants or interns, often in areas that are related to the area of study.
Coming full circle, a lot of the teenage volunteers once came to the museum themselves as children. But Wonderlab has changed a lot since then. Growth continues at an amazing rate thanks to creative partnerships.
It was 1995 when the idea for Wonderlab first started, and that involved a group of volunteers getting together and wanting to have something in Bloomington that addressed science and hands-on fun for children. We've continued with that volunteer-based tradition, and we now have over 800 volunteers every year. Now we get over 75,000 visitors a year, 15% more than previous years. Attendance just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Nurturing tomorrow's scientists and having fun while they're at it. It's no wonder that kids love this museum.